To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So we got a nice sunny, pretty day out today. So we thought it'd take an opportunity to take the chickens back outside, get them kind of acclimated to going outside. It's been rainy and cold for the last several days, so they've been stuck inside, and you know, they're getting pretty big. Got the chicken coop done. We got most of the chicken run done. So I thought I'd take them out. Of course, we got to clean the cage, and it's really getting difficult to clean the cage with them in it now. They're becoming quite independent, and they'll peck at your hand real quick. See if I can get them. Yeah, see, they start pecking right away. I've never had chickens this close to us in proximity while raising them. The last set we had them up in the attic. Well, it was an attic. It was more like a loft bedroom. It was insulated. It was almost finished, attic type of thing. We'd only go up to feed them and look at them every now and then, but they weren't part of the family. And the chickens and ducks I had prior to that, I had a entryway, hallway, and we put them in there, and just to keep the noise down. But these chickens have been a part of our life since we got them. They're right here. The bed is right here. I'm leaning up against the bed in this little tiny house. This is the only place we can put them. I didn't realize how trainable chickens are. Chickens now know. I feed them a piece of bread each morning when I get up just as a snack. And they now know what the bread wrapper is. So as soon as I pick up the bread, even if I'm making a sandwich, they get all excited and come running around. I took this piece out here because I took it outside to put it in a chicken run. They wouldn't move. They wouldn't get out of that area so I could take it out. So I asked Carolyn to get a piece of bread, and no sooner did she get the bread, they all ran to the other side. So, I mean, we didn't have to get the bread. I mean, she went ahead and fed them because it's kind of like, I don't like tricking animals. I see people do that a lot. They'll trick an animal, you know, like, here's a piece of steak to a dog and then take it away from them and think it's funny. I've never felt that way. I have a lot of empathy for animals. So we have this little bin. We used to put them in a bucket, but I think they're too big now to put them in. So Carolyn's got this bucket, or this bin that she's been using for a greenhouse for her turnips, I think, and her radishes. And it did a really good job. When I picked it up, it was just full of water. It's just really good greenhouse. So I feel bad that I picked it up. But anyway, we're going to put them outside. Now, as soon as I open this up, they'll all jump out. They'll all want to try to escape, and they're really smart. Watch them make a fool out of me. See, as soon as they all want to be first. And I've noticed something about these things. They get all upset unless you hold their feet. If you hold their feet, they're quite calm. If you don't grab their feet, they'll be squeaking and hollering. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge. This is Frenchie. What's wrong with Frenchie? I'm going to have to put a piece of board over this. Okay, now I got a piece of plastic over it. See if that'll keep them in a little better. Now we think this is the rooster. You can see by his nose, he's got that thing growing in on top. I do hate it when that happens. I didn't push the button on the camera, so I wasn't able to show their release when I released them into the cage. It was kind of fun to watch. I really am sorry. This is the chicken run. I don't know how much of the chicken run you can see. It's out here. The last time I had them out here, they really didn't want to be out here. They were scared to death. And we tried everything to get them to calm down. They just wouldn't calm down. Well, finally I put this thing in. This is their second piece of their chicken run. They all kind of came in here and then they had a good time all day. Here you can see, I would think, yeah, I think you can see. They kind of play outside and then they can come in. I think what it is that they were scared of the birds of prey. They're actually doing better than they did last time. They didn't want to get out of this overhead thing. You can see a lot of them are coming out. So I'm going to put this bird feed, that's all it is, just bird feed, out on the ground. That gives them something to scratch for. Get them in the habit of it. Usually I don't have too many serious conversations with you. And that's by design. I want you to understand that this lifestyle is very freeing to me. And so I try to express all the happiness and the freedom about it. Quite frankly, that's all there is to it. That's it. That's the scope of my life, just being happy. I'm not stressed about too much. I mean, the highlight of my stress right now is my well. I'm got to put a well packer in it. And I've been pretty stressed that if I break the well, oh no, what am I going to do? I realized no matter what I do wrong, I can still use the well. So it just doesn't matter. I've never had that kind of experience in my life before where it's just happiness. Being able to build my own tiny house without any regulations, without the fear of the code enforcement guy coming out and telling me I got to do it over. I didn't have that fear. So that's what my content is usually about. And I know I get, I talk about the angry subscribers a lot. And I do that as a release. It's kind of a freedom thing for me. I can say, hey, look at you, you trolls. You're over there drinking your sorrows away while I'm over here being happy. And so you get to come into my channel and cuss me out and tell me how big of a loser I am. All the while you're sipping that, that vodka. Criticize. You're the idiot for being happy. I'm over here, I can't get enough booze to make me happy, and you're the idiot. It's incredible. So, it's kind of come down to this where I just want to talk to you and tell you what it's all about. I'm criticized a lot. You got power line over your yard, so why don't you just hook up to it? It'd be a lot easier than what you're doing. And I don't know how to express this anymore. No. It wouldn't. It would be terrible. I mean, right now, the government just handed us all, big checks. And why? Why did they hand us checks? Why do we need checks? If it's so easy to just hook up the power grid, and it's not that much more expensive to hook up the power grid, right? Well, then why did you just get a check so you can pay your power bill? So I don't have to worry about it. My check went into the bank. I'm like, what do we want to do with it? Well, let's go ahead and get that well packer and get that out of the way and fix our well. Oh, okay, sounds good to me. I could spend it. I didn't have to spend it, but in total, I think we spent, $300 on materials for the well packer? There's still a lot of money left over. And some people can't even afford their electric even after they got the check. And then we go down to Texas, and this just blows me away. I can't even understand this. I can't fathom this. You go down to Texas, and they shut your power down for several weeks. I think I hear that some Texans are still without power. But those who did have power were charged like $10,000 a kilowatt. I mean, it was ridiculous how much they charged. And they sent out bills with tens of thousands of dollars for electric for just, a couple days of use. And people are having to get on their credit cards to pay the power bill, and there's lawsuits going on, and it comes to find out the government isn't going to step in and intervene because it could shut down and bankrupt the power company, and we don't want to do that. We want to bankrupt all the people who had no idea this was going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to hook up to the power grid and risk that kind of nightmare and be in debt and be stressed. I'm debt free. I have no stress, and I don't know how to explain this any better. There is nothing in my life that can go wrong. Oh, Rob, they can take your property away. Well, yeah, they can take my property away. They could do lots of things. But the norm is they give you a big old power bill in the winter months, expect you to pay it, or you know what Missouri does? They says, okay, if you can't pay your power bill in the winter months, that's okay, we'll let you accumulate all this debt. And then in the summer and spring, we'll just shut you off until you get it paid off. So, I mean, none of that sounds good to me. I have electricity all the time. I never have to worry about being shut off. The worst thing I would have to do, let's say, a solar panel broke. Oh my gosh, $70. That's how much a solar panel is, $70. Rob, they make you pay taxes on that thing. Yep, I pay $23 on this piece of property, $23. And I know a lot of people live in parts of the country where that's not even imaginable. You can't, how is that even possible? And that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're in an area that doesn't allow you to be happy, then find some place that it is. And I know that seems really extreme that I'm telling you to just pick up your roots and move and go away and do it the way you want, be happy. But it's just that simple. There's nothing complicated about it. I know there's this lady, she's down in Florida and she can't leave Florida right now. But her whole goal is to get out of Florida so she can live off grid, and that's wonderful. I mean, there's certain things that I guess are tying her there, but at least she has a dream and she's taking steps to get to that dream. And that's perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. This concept that we have to do things because society tells us that's what we have to do, well, then you're trapped. And you're never going to find happiness other than the bottom of that vodka bottle. That's the only happiness you can find. And you're always going to let things stress you out. You know, you're going to live in an apartment. How am I going to pay next month's rent? So we're always relying on somebody else to come and bail us out and help us out. I don't have to rely on anybody. Again, coming back to the well, I know the well is a big topic of conversation, but it's my biggest stressor right now. And that's not a big stressor. But your stress is am I going to have a place to live in a couple months because I can't afford it? My big stress is can I put a pipe down into the well? You know, that's the stress. That's the difference between me and you. I have found pure happiness. And I don't even have to, you know, fake it. This is it. This is it. This is real. I mean, just quite frankly, if you're unhappy in your life, make the change. Work towards something. Be happy. I hope I can inspire you to find your happiness and live your dream. Thanks for watching.